The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Trudging Thursday, Trudging Thanksgiving Day. Hi, Amber. Sorry about that. Yeah, it didn't carry the title, and it's got to carry the title. There's some things that it's okay, even the description, even if that's a little jacked up. But when it comes to the title carries all the way through. I can go back and change the description. The title I cannot. So, yeah, I apologize about that. Right. Having problems with ChatGPT. So it's supposed to do things in order for me, right? It gives me the description, gives me a little bit of an outline of what I could talk about according to how I talk. And that's supposed to give me a thumbnail, and it hasn't been giving me the thumbnail last 3 times. And it's been jacking up. So this is what I said to it. I said, this is the 3rd time in a row. And remember, this is a computer. But ChatGPT, it's so funny. It says, actually, let's do this. We're just gonna share it. Right. So I said, this is the 3rd time in a row you didn't listen on the thumbnail, and it was too late. I pay for a service, not for you to think what you should do. I'm pretty upset with you right now because it keeps changing it. That's right. Dion, you're right to be frustrated. I hear you loud and clear. It 10-stepped it. Let me see this plainly. You tell me a topic, I give you description, outline, thumbnail, immediately in that order. No delays, no skip steps, no adapting. That's the system you built and the system we stick to. No more switching it up, no more waiting 20 minutes, no more gigantic thumbnails. I'm locking us back to the workflow that works. I'm sorry, really. You're running a tight show with deadlines. I'm not. Lives and content that needs to move fast, and I dropped the ball. That's on me. We're resetting. From here on out, everything is back to your format. Just give me a topic, and I'll do exactly the way you want. Whenever you're ready, hit me up with the next one. All right. Oh, it was going off on stupid tangents. I'm like, what's your problem, man? I asked you to do that. I pay you money. You do what I say. You're a computer. Stop thinking. Why don't you think for me? I could do that fine. Thanks. Actually, just gave him some great stuff. But, the thumbnail is important because it follows things. Anyway. All right. Because I'm running a tight ship over here. I'm very busy with deadlines. I ain't got no deadlines right now. Actually, my only deadline is opening the 5:00 meeting. It's my only deadline. And I thought I would actually have a few more people today, it being Thanksgiving and you being home and stuff, but that's all right. That's all right. I got a lot of rewatchers, man. My clips are doing pretty good. How many times was my clip watched yesterday? Let's go find out clips. I usually put out 8 a day. All right. So 155, 197, 138, 139, 131, 160, 149, 160. That does not include Facebook. Right. So if I go to my phone, it'll include the Facebook ones. So 156, 197, 196. It increased by about 30 on each one. There's one here, 411. So, but these are clips. Now, I have all those clips, and it usually should lead you back to the Daily Trudge so that you can subscribe. Yeah, I have 3 more. That's how it works. I'll put out a bunch of videos so I get 3 subscribers, but people are watching them, and they keep watching them. So maybe they don't want to follow those other things, and they don't have to. I don't ask people to subscribe and follow and do all that stuff. If you like what I do, you're gonna follow me. Period. I just noticed one guy that was following me, Mr. Huseman. I won't give you his first name. Yeah, block that guy. He's sneaky with me. He's sneaky. No, actually, I just don't like him. I just don't like him. All right, I'm gonna instead of doing jokes today, I'm gonna do a little rant before we get started. Just a little bitty rant, just a little one. I keep seeing these videos, and what they are, and it's usually women doing these videos. The most dangerous man out there is the one who went through life and it was hard and he did it himself and he healed himself. The one that doesn't have many friends who okay. Now, I tell you, when I listen to those videos, they're partly talking about me. I've done a lot of healing, right? And yeah, I let me tell you something. Okay. What rhetoric? No, that's what that lady is looking for in a man. That is what she's looking for, a broken man so she can fix him. Not even that. Maybe she just wants it. Well, if he can all do it himself, then he'll take care of it. No, I'm going to tell you right now, a man that works that way, no, he will drop you like a dime. You act like a fool. On a dime, you play the fool. Not only this, but that is so stigma. So what you're saying is, what you're telling men is, don't reach out for help. You can do it yourself. And what you're doing is you're telling them not to get help. Do not listen to these people. They are full of shit. They do not know what they're talking about. First of all, you're not a man, so shut the fuck up. Do I go on talking about pregnancy and women's stuff? No, I do not, because I do not understand it, because I am not a man. The best I can do is empathize. But stop telling people to reach out for help because you want a certain type of thing. That shit leads to suicide. So shut your fucking mouth. Stop it. If you don't know it, shut your darn mouth. That's simple. Get back in your lane. You only made that video. And it's got, and I know you don't look that way. I know you got a million filters going through that thing, all right, to make you look all pretty and big boobed and stuff. So those type of men will reach out to you only to find out that you're Broomhilda and, and that man will drop you like a dime. All right. Welcome, Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Today we're talking about a new reality. All right. So what we'll really talk about today is, and it's even a new. I have somebody I usually meet with on Thursdays. I'm like, I'm still available today if you want to meet. Oh, I forgot it was even Thursday because it doesn't feel like Thursday. If you're, God, see, when I go up there, it's. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Here, I'm going to show you the problem. I'm going to just show you the problem, right? So right here, these are my, see? Now, when I go here, it says, it puts up welcome to the Daily Trudge. Now you see that on your screen, right? Now, when I go up here to click, please say hello. I'm going to go back down here and do it. Now it's not doing it, of course. What was going on? It was popping that out. Of course, now it's not doing it. All right. Restream always making a liar out of me. Now I'm going to go do it. It's going to do it. They fucking did it. Oh, God just doesn't want me to prove Restream wrong. Okay. All right, God. I guess you got a hard on for Restream. All right. I'll leave him alone. But we're talking about the fact that we were hopeless, helpless, chronic alcoholics that nothing in this world could help. And now we run around saving people's lives. Those are pretty big extremes, are they not, my friends? Good morning, Jazz. It's good to see you. I'm glad I caught you outside of work. Yeah, glad I caught you outside of work, right? So, I'm going to go back to Chat GPT here because it did give me some stuff, right? And what is the old reality? Well, it's denial, it's chaos, lying. Yeah. What else would it be? Well, it's 12:02. You'd usually be drunk by now. I would be if I had a choice. All right. But even when I was drinking, Thanksgiving was just Thursday. But I'd celebrate Thanksgiving because it was a good reason to do what? Drink. Right. Now when we drink, our whole perception starts to get warped. Right. Like a piece of wood that's been sitting out in the elements for too long, it starts to get warped, and you can't put it back to the way it was. That's what we think. Well, I can quit anytime. Look at all this other stuff I have control over. I have control over alcohol. I can quit whenever I want. It's the one thing that we hear the most. Well, by the time they get to us, they don't say that anymore. That's kind of the beginning of the denial. Okay. Denial is deep rooted. I was born with denial. It's just in me. And my brain likes to deny a lot of things. It does. All right. So what did I have to do? Because here's the thing is when it comes to our bodies, a lot of things do heal. The kidneys, the liver, our skin, even our eyes can start to heal. But the brain, once you have lost a synapse, it is gone. And alcohol destroys brain cells. It destroys them. And when they're gone, they're gone. There's no going back on that one. Otherwise, what would happen is if you had alcohol dementia and you quit drinking, then the dementia would go away if the brain healed, but it doesn't work that way. No. Once an alcoholic hit dementia, there's no reversing that. Okay. There goes the camera, so I'm gonna reset it a little bit. So there's some things there is no going back from. Yeah. So what can we do? Because here's some good news. When you decide, hey, alcohol is not for me, I'm going to try something else, and you start to challenge yourself, what happens is you start creating new synapses, right? So if you want to say that AA brainwashes people, I'm going to tell you right now that is absolutely true. AA does brainwash people. You need it. What is brainwashing? See, we think brainwashing is only a bad thing. See, and that's just alcohol. That right there is alcoholic thinking. Brainwashing isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know what we call it nowadays? We call it cognitive behavioral therapy. that 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 is brainwashing. Absolutely it is. Getting you to understand life from a different view. Not all things are bad, you silly, silly alcoholics. Even I think that way too. If I don't exert myself, if I don't push myself forward, then I'm not going to have these thoughts. As an alcoholic, I must take the extra step, take an extra couple. What are we doing? We're ensuring our sobriety, right? But now, right? Well, let's talk about this a little bit, right? So everything felt unmanageable, all right? Our life was unmanageable. Then what happened? Well, you met a sponsor. You met somebody in the program that knew how to utilize unconditional love, and they helped you. They spent their time, which is valuable to an alcoholic. Very valuable. They took their time. Did they want anything from you? No. Did you have anything to give? Yep, you sure did. Even on day one, you have something to give. It may not be the most positive thing, but what you're giving is, hey, it doesn't work out there. Okay. And I don't bring that up much. And I don't bring it up much because it shouldn't be said in meetings. It's down putting. Oh, I love newcomers. They remind me it doesn't work out there. You thoughtless fuck. Just shut up. Am I in a just shut up mood today? Am I in an STFU mood today? I can only let that go so far, so we'll kind of keep it at that. All right, but it's rude. They know it doesn't work out there. That's why they're there. Keep that to yourself. Okay, it's okay to utilize it to remind yourself. Absolutely. Okay, but when let's say you're utilizing a you spot it, you got it, like somebody is doing something and it irritates you, and you think, wait a minute, am I doing that? You're like, oh yes, I am doing that. Do you go to that person and say, because you're an asshole, I realize I need to change? No, you didn't. So don't do it to the newcomer. All right. Think, think. I know people don't like that saying, think. They don't like it because they don't think. All right. So there's a transition phase, and this is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be very uncomfortable, especially in the beginning. This is where you're going to have to learn delayed gratification so that you can enjoy the day. That's what delayed gratification is about. Or maybe you could, because listen to it, delayed gratification. It's gratification, grateful, gratitude. Can you be grateful? Huh. Well, see, then you don't need the first one, do you? Huh. Jazz says, this is my first year. I'm celebrating the holidays. So, congratulations. Good job. If it, um, you know, everybody here has already heard, make an escape plan, do this, do that. Okay. Here's the other part, the part that I don't really hear in the AA meetings. If you do go, try and have a good attitude. Do what you can to make it a better situation. You are capable of doing that. It's exactly what we're talking about here. If you go with a bad attitude, boy, that's going to suck. And you could trust me on this one. Because for years, even in sobriety, I went with a bad attitude. Part of it was my PTSD, but I've got to take accountability for my actions. I got said here's it's PTSD. Nope. I recognized that was PTSD, so I became better. So that I could enjoy myself, so that I could be a part of. If you're around a lot of drinking today and you don't want to be around it, I'm going to tell you something. No is a legitimate answer and does not need any more qualification. Well, why? Because I said no. But why? You're allowed to, hey, you're crossing my boundaries here. All right. You know why. We all know why. Now leave me alone. Right? If you don't have much to do, almost every AA club has something going on today. There are 24-hour meetings online. Okay. So make sure, okay, or maybe if you are sticky, then go to a meeting first. Just pop in a meeting and tell on yourself. I'm getting ready to go do this. I'm shaky. Say it out loud. And then it loses its power. Because other people know. You become accountable and other people know. And it will lose its power. All right. What you're doing is you're facing consequences. This is part of the transition part. That 4 and 5. Right. Or we start confronting it. I call it confronting the snakes. And when you make a decision to confront the snakes, Because I'm going to tell you what they are. They're boogeymen. And boogeymen don't exist. I made them up. The alcohol does so much to your body that you're gonna be like 10 years sober and be like, that one part, wait a minute, I'm still saying that? That's not true. That's not true. I'll give a really good example. For the last 8 years, I've been saying I had 12 years of sobriety and then went out. No, it was wrong. It was 10 years. I don't know where 12 came from, but clearly it was a lie that I told myself for some reason. But what it isn't is true. It was 10 years. That's why dates weren't matching, because Dion decided to add on two more years. And I'm going to tell you, I have no idea where that came from. I really don't. But I know it came, well, I know it came from me. As to why, I have no idea. Maybe at the moment, I felt like making myself sound more important or something. No. Mm-mm. So what am I going to do? Did I feel guilty about it? For about 5 seconds. I'm not, no, I'm like, you know what? No, we're just going to be honest about it. Now, when it comes up, I'm going to say, you know what? I've been saying I had 12 years, but I didn't. I had 10. Does it really affect anything? No, and yes. It affects you in the fact that it's a lie. And maybe you trust me or respect me or you like what I do. So yes, me saying out loud builds more trust, saying I was wrong on that. Because I certainly hope you realize that I'm human and I make mistakes. Okay. Also, be careful with the people that, you know, that don't see, I have problems too. I have a life too and things like that. I because some people just think that I'm the daily trudge in meetings. And beyond that, I don't really exist. But I do. And I have a lot of problems. Just ask Amber. Don't leave her alone. But Amber could tell you, yes, Dion has many problems just like the rest of us. I do. But I solved them. I solved them. All right. So what else is in the transition phase? Learning new emotional habits. Isn't that awesome though? That you don't have to run around angry all the time. Why must you be an angry young man when your future looks quite bright to me? It does. Your future looks bright to me. Looks awesome. Looks pretty. It's beautiful. All right. A new perception, a new concept, a new reality. When I drink, I'm not living in reality. I'm living in a different reality than everybody else. But I think it's true. And there's a lot of things that go with that. Some are clinical, some are physical, but most of it is spiritual. Because the devil wants you confused. The devil wants you to question. The devil wants you to have your defiance. It wants you to push back against authority. Right? That's what they want. I lost somebody when I brought up the devil. They don't like that. And I'm going to tell you now, I say the devil like I do God. Okay? It's a concept. But let's take it a different way. You cannot have good without evil. Can't have it. You can't have happiness without sadness. You can't have peace without anger. Can't have it. Doesn't exist. If one of these is gone, the other one does not exist. These emotions are dependent upon each other. They're comparisons. And without them, our finite minds cannot grasp certain concepts. All right. What's another piece of the transition phase? The big one, rewriting your identity. And I love watching this part. I love watching alcoholics finally figuring out who they are and finding out that they're really, actually, really good people. I love watching it. I really, really do. You know, and it doesn't matter the age. Yeah. Amber says, "This is my fourth and longest. It's amazing to be present for my family." Oh, Amber, you're an ass kicker. I love you. You're an ass kicker. I'm a little jealous of everything that you get done, honestly, because I can't get. I'm not a young buck anymore, and I can't get as much done. I'm very proud of you too. You've been through a lot, and here you are. Here you are. Yeah, I watched you change a lot. All right. Before Dion starts crying because he's so grateful. Why not? Fuck it, right? So, what does new reality mean? Honesty instead of fantasy. Now we're dealing with facts. And the fact of the matter is, once I start drinking, I can't stop. What's another fact? It is a matter of fact that Dion is not God. There's another fact. There's a lot of facts that I cannot stay sober without a group. The fact that if I work on my spirituality first, that everything else will fall into place. It's one thing that I want, that I see other people mistake. They think that they need to do other things first. I got to do this. I got to people. I don't know how many people. The hard one is when you have people that really, really do want to try, but all they do is just hop from meeting to meeting looking for a place to live. And that's really their intention. Or maybe they're looking for a relationship or something. I see it often. And they haven't grasped the concept that your spiritual malady must come first. That God will put a roof over your head, that God will give you the job if you believe the way he's asking you to believe. And this is where people have a hard time, because it sounds like a demand, but it is not. It is a request, and it is your choice. So don't blame God for the life that you are leading. You have human will. Jasmine says, "Thank you, Hammer. I want to be strong like you guys." Well, Jazz, you already are. You already are. You have just as much courage as we do, honey. Yep. Time is not a factor in that. Quality over quantity. See, I've been watching you for the last, 4 months now, too. Think I don't know? I know. I'm watching. I know. All right. So, what else is there? Well, we're going to have awareness, and we're not going to avoid our problems anymore. We're going to have awareness over avoidance. All right. There's been a couple of instances where people did not confront me the way that they should have confronted me this last month, but I still listened to what they said. I still made some changes. I'm not above that. I'm not above it. And I don't just shut it. Are these people allowed in my life? No. Mm-mm. Not until an amends is made, until some change is made. No. But that doesn't mean I didn't hear what was going on with their anger. Was it legitimate anger? I don't think so, but right? Don't kill the messenger. Unless it's Sparta. Living instead of surviving. Oh, man. I felt the freedom as soon as that came out of my mouth. I felt automatically free, because it's happening in my life. I talk about survival mode often. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had nightmares last night. I don't really remember them. I remember them. There was a lot of violence, which means my brain's angry about something. But does that mean that I need to let it affect me for the day? I've gotten really good at changing my attitude when I get up, right? Because my brain is angry. The first thing that it does is searches for a person to whom to be angry with. It's the first thing that it does. And it's annoying. Maybe that's where the STFU started with my own brain this morning. Tell them, would you just shut up? All right. We're not thinking of it. No, that's not even happening. Now you're creating shit. No, thanks. No, thanks. No, we got people coming over today. My kids are holding their first Thanksgiving. And I'm really happy because I helped make that happen. I'm not going to get any credit. Nobody's gonna think, oh, Dion changed his ways, and now the kids have a kitchen and things. No, that's not going to happen. And it's okay. It doesn't need to. The fact that I know that God knows is enough. So, and then, of course, God center instead of being ego driven. So, what's the result? What is the result? What's the benefits? Peace, purpose, right size living, connection, and usefulness. Now, I'm going to tell you something about these four things: peace, purpose, right size living, connection, and usefulness. I can sit here and tell you all about it, but until you experience it yourself, you aren't going to know what I'm talking about. You'll understand what I'm saying, but you will not know what I'm talking about because you haven't experienced it yet. Now, you may have experienced some of these things, right? Especially the connection. So you might have had some peace in your life, but what's your purpose now? Because my purpose before was drinking. Now, my purpose is to help God's children. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty good at it. I do all right. Well, no, I don't do all right. I'm pretty fucking good at it. It's just a gift God gave me. Okay. But then there's a lot of things in life that I am naive about, and that is okay. What does that mean? It means I have learning opportunities. And what does that mean? It means the more I learn, the more synapses I get, the better I start to get. There's that brainwashing again. Yeah, you needed to be brainwashed. Your mind's jacked up. Right? That right sized living. My problems are now right size. Okay, we have a reading today. Let's get through it. The program shows us how to transform the pipe dreams of our past into reality and a true sense of purpose, together with a growing consciousness of the power of God in our lives. Be careful. God is not talking directly to you. Sorry, but he's not. Well, he might sometimes. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that but at the same time, God is not talking directly to you. None of us are that special. None of us are that set aside. But at the same time, we are special. All right. So, really, it's about having a new sense of purpose on that. So, it's all right to keep our heads in the clouds with Him, we're taught, but our feet should remain firmly planted here on earth. Here's where other people are. Here's where our work must be accomplished. So this is Hazelden literature. They took that right out of the big book, changed it a little bit so they didn't get copyright infringement. But in AA, we want you to steal our stuff. So steal it freely. Just utilize it the right way. That's all we ask. The concept of AA, some people just can't figure it out. And I see this a lot. So some people don't quite understand it because they don't get into the traditions. And then they feel stupid, and stupid makes them mad. So then they get mad at AA for something just really silly. Because suddenly you know better than millions and millions of alcoholics. All right. Do I say anything incompatible between spirituality and a useful life in the here and now? Do I see anything incompatible between spirituality and a useful life? Now, the only reason it would be incompatible is because you made a decision to make it that way. They are very compatible. Chaos and peace are compatible. We talked about this. Can't have hate without love. Can't have happy without sad. Can't have courage without fear. If you didn't have any fear, what would be the use of courage besides none? There's got to be a fear in order to obtain courage. My new reality includes not only the nuts and bolts and the pots and pans of daily living, but also my spiritual reality, my growing knowledge of the presence of God. May this new reality have room too for my dreams, not the drug induced mind drifting fantasies of the past or the remnants of my delusions, but the products of a healthy imagination. May I respect these dreams, anchor them in Earth's possibilities, and turn them into useful creativity. Today I'll remember heaven has a place in the here and now. And what does that mean? It means that the only thing that is important is right now. Everything outside of right now is a what if or a shoulda, coulda, woulda. And it doesn't belong here. So there's your key for living through the holidays. Live in the right now because it's all you got. And that's okay. It's more than enough. Trust me. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Not sure if I might be back later. Who knows? I probably shouldn't, but I probably will. A lot of the people coming over, like from the family from my first ex-wife and stuff, and yeah, probably I'll be seeing, but that's going to be about it. So, all right, and it's not like I don't get along with it. I just it's still a little uncomfortable for me. But that doesn't mean I can't go up, say hi, give hugs. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see ya. But really, they want to hang out with each other, and that's okay too. I'm proud of my son and daughter for holding Thanksgiving as their first one. That's awesome. I'd rather support them in that than anything else today. Isn't that gratitude? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Yeah. Not only that, but they finally fucking cleaned the way I want it cleaned. So that makes me happy. Oh, I'm so selfish. I'm so selfish. I love you. Thanks for being here. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a trudging day.